Hello, everyone. Welcome to another soulful sip contemplation. As usual, I would like to invite you to grab one of your favorite drinks, tea or coffee, or a cup of water, and join me for a deep conversation and contemplation about Walt Whitman, his poetry, and his legacy. Well, I have been a fan of Walt Whitman quite a long time, but the specific invitation and inspiration for this contemplation is actually coming from my recent visit to his home in Camden, New Jersey, and his grave, which is almost 10 minutes drive from his home. Well, there are some people in life where I feel like they have such a strong presence that whenever you enter into the room with them, they change the vibrational frequency of a particular place. And this comes with the strength of their embodiment, the way that they're able to carry their souls. And although I might not have the privilege of getting to know Walt Whitman in person, I can definitely feel he was one of those big personalities, big presences, where he was able to bring his boldness, beauty, and that complexity of all of his humanity into wherever he went. And definitely, when I entered his home, I felt his soul's resonance in that space, especially on the second floor when I entered into his bedroom, which was a space where he spent his last days and he took his last breath. I just couldn't stop tears in my eyes. I was able to imagine Walt Whitman sitting in his chair like he is usually pictured in most of his photos, with sunshine coming from the window, his face in deep contemplation, but also reflecting this beautiful presence, calmness, as is usually captured in most of his photos. And he's swimming in a cloud of papers on the ground that reflects his creative soul, creative reflections, and all of the gifts that he have shared with us. Within that moment, I was able to see the boldness and bigness of his presence still residing in that space. And on my way, I came across another quote of him, which was such a beautiful inspiration for me to see that inner essence that was reflecting in the home. And during this contemplation, I would like to share a couple introductory phrases and poems from him. And this is one of the first ones. He says, "Do I contradict myself? Very well. Then I contradict myself. I am large. I contain multitudes." Wow, there is so much depth in this expression. The first thing one can say is really, he's not shy. And this is one of the things that I love about Walt Whitman, his boldness, his bold beauty about what it means to be a human and being absolutely okay with holding different sides of him together. To me, all his poetry and all he shared with his embodiment, his dignity, what he stood for, was a beautiful representation of the universal consciousness. He was able to contain all. In psychology terminology, he was able to be all the archetypes. He was the past, he was the future, and he was able to embody all the harmony, diversity of humanity in him beautifully. And he was absolutely okay to say that it's okay to be all. Indeed, as human beings, it's our right to be all. I would like to link this to one of my latest contemplations about shame. If you might remember, shame was the core wound that happened to us when we were not welcoming all of ourselves, or when all of ourselves were not welcomed by the world. So we were shamed. We were shamed because we are different. We are not fitting in into a certain definition and description. Here, Walt Whitman is shameless. He is shamelessly himself. And through his embodiment, he is also inviting us to meet him there, in that space where we can be all, we can welcome all, and we are not shameful of who we are and what we embody. So that's one of the first things that I would like to highlight and honor about Walt Whitman. And when I think about Walt Whitman and what his work represented for me, the second thing that comes to my mind is his bigness in terms of appreciation of mundane magic of daily life. He was able to see beauty in little small things, and he was able to honor the simplest of life. And indeed, this is one of the reasons his line of work, which is his life's work, Leaves of Grass, which is his book's name, is named like that. Simple. Leaves of grass. If you can see the beauty in the leaves of a grass, that is precious. That is our life's work as humans. That is what it means to be a human, to have an open heart, to have an open vision, and to be able to see beauty, love all around us in little, small things of life. Aligned with that, I would like to share another quote from him, which nicely goes well in terms of his appreciation of the simple things in life and how this might have inspired him to name his life's work as Leaves of Grass. He says, "After all, the great lesson is that no special natural site, not Alps, Niagara, Yosemite, or anything else is more grand or more beautiful than the ordinary sunrise and sunset, earth and sky, the common trees and grass." Now you know what he means. He also says, simplicity is the glory of expression. Look at that simplicity. Simplicity is the glory of expression. Yet it is so complex. Like you said in the previous version, there is so much multitude in that. And what it means to be human is to be okay with that diversity, that multiplicity, that complexity of life. But yet to be able to synthesize it, to be able to embody it in your own existence, in the simplicity of a human life, and be okay with that, so that through that embodiment, we can see the beauty in the leaves of a grass. So we don't need to chase these grand experiences to be able to appreciate what life can offer to us. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it deep? And the third thing that I really appreciate about Walt Whitman is really how he's able to express that universality of our humanness through his shameless embodiment, and how he's able to see the beauty and the vitality of life and invite all of us to play with it, to celebrate it, to honor it. And next, what I will share is from the first lines of Leaves of Grass. He says, I celebrate myself and sing myself. What I assume, you shall assume. For every atom that belongs to me as good belongs to you. And in another context, as a continuation of this, he says, I am as bad as the worst, but thank God, I am as good as the best. Look at that simplicity and look at the resonance in that simplicity. He just shares, as human beings, we share so much commonality. What belongs to me belongs to you. And seen this way, through his embodiment, through his articulation of the daily beauty of simple things, he is nicely inviting us to be with him, to see the goodness of that humanity. And yes, he's also acknowledging that he is a human being. In most of his poetry, you can also see the pain that he had to go through. And that's a part of human experience too. Coming back to the first quote, he says, do I contradict myself? Yes, I am large. I contain multitudes. He contained multitudes of deep experiences that comes with grief, that comes with sadness, that comes with disappointment, but that also comes with beauty, dignity, love, respect for humanity, honoring simple things in life and seeing the beauty of life, of being alive, being in this body. And he was also very sensual in terms of his experiences of what it means to be a human. He was so proud to have a flesh and to be able to touch something, to be able to smell something, to be able to hear something. This was always an invitation for us to discover those parts that are available to us and waiting for us, waiting for our attention to see the beauty of them. Wow. Of course, these are the philosophical contemplations about what he stood for. But on the other side, I think he also wrote quite a lot of nice romantic expressions of his love and quite a lot of nice romantic poetry too. And just to give you another quick sample or small sample, I would like to share one that I like. What is it that you express in your eyes? It seems to be more than all the print I have read in my life. How can you see all the world can offer and yet see the reflection of that in one human being? This made me remember another contemplation I had related to Art of Loving from Eric Fromm. He was also saying to love someone is to love all of humanity through that person. This is just a beautiful reflection of that. He was loving all of humanity through that person too. And in the end, I would like to conclude with what he invited us to do at the end of his own exploration of life. He gifted us with some wisdom. So simple, yet so deep. I think this is a nice way to honor his soul and to remind us the invitation that we received from this beautiful poet who loved life, love, and all in between. Here it says, this is what you shall do. Love the earth and the sun, the animals. Despise riches. Give alms to everyone that asks. Stand up for the stupid and the crazy. Devote your income and labor to others. Hate tyrants. Argue not concerning God. Have patience and indulgence towards the people. Take off your hat to nothing known or unknown, or to any man or number of men. Go freely with powerful, uneducated people, and the young, and with the mothers of families. Read these leaves in the open air every season of every year of your life. Re examine all you have been told at school, or church, or in a book. Dismiss whatever insults your own soul and your own flesh. Shall be a great poem or have the richest fluency, not only in its words, but in the silent lines of its lips and face, and between the lashes of your eyes, and in every motion and joint of your body. Such a beautiful invitation that invites us to listen to our own souls, shamelessly bring all of it to the world. See the beauty in simple things in life, like leaves of grass, sunset, sunrise that's available to us every day, and honor the dignity of human soul. And through the embodiment within us first, be the invitation for others to do the same. Because, like you said, every atom that belongs to me belongs to you too. Well, his poetry inspired me, and for my love for his poetry, for what he represented, for what he stood for, I just would like to take a moment to share these brief contemplations to honor his soul. Tomorrow is his birthday, and I just would like to take a moment to say, Happy birthday, Walt. uh, may your inspiration and light be a guiding principle for us and the upcoming generations as well. As usual, thank you for joining me. I hope this really gives you an idea about Walt Whitman, his values, his principles, and I hope this really inspires you to meet him in your own ways, to read Leaves of Grass, which is a beautiful piece of work. And as usual, thank you for joining me in this journey, and I look forward to meeting you in the next one. In the meantime, remember that you are beautiful. Bring that inner beauty out to the world shamelessly. Till next time, thank you. Bye, everyone.